Good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing on this Tuesday afternoon, late night? I'm your host, Tone Capone, right here in Live at 45 podcast. And today's topic is going to be about addiction. We talking everything from heroin, cocaine, crack, alcohol, sex, any kind of addiction that you have out there. We're going to be speaking on this tonight because I feel like more than Henry County is on the radar with overdoses and people dying of addictions of heroin, meth, and etc. So why not tap in on this and just go ahead and talk about it because it's already out there. I'm your host, Tone Capone, and we right here live at 45 podcast talking about addiction. Yeah. Thank y'all, man. But look, man, on some real note, man, I'm here to give y'all a little subject about addiction. I don't know nothing about it. You know, addiction can be anything, but we're going to tap in on this fentanyl, heroin, and the epidemic that's going on in Martinsville, Henry County. Not only is it affecting families and communities, it is also affecting jobs. You know, the police force, they doing everything they can do to try to shut down this shit that's going on around here. And some of y'all know y'all don't like it because I don't like it. Because if it's like this in 5 and 10 more years, they're going to have a worse drug than this. So why not at least try to put a dent in it before it get out of hand? You know, like they say, when there's a wildfire, what you got to do to it? You pour water on it. So that's what we got to do. We got to put this fire out, man, before it's destroying people's, it's destroying families, it's destroying the community, everything. And it's putting in time and effort with these law enforcement spending time away from their families to try to stop this. That's the side effects y'all don't see. What, you know, they giving up their time to go ahead and fight this crime that a lot of us, even myself, don't want to do. So we got people out there just willing to do this and do everything that they can in their power to stop this epidemic that's going on in Martinsville, Henry County. So on that note, man, we're going to get a round of applause to all the law enforcement out there for doing a good job and doing what they sworn to do, man. So we'll give them a round of applause, man. Yeah. But man, we're gonna get into this subject. It's called addiction, and then I'm gonna just touch a little basis on stuff, you know, about addiction. What is the full meaning of addicted? You know, it can be anything, but you know, it's a lot of definitions out there what it can mean. So I found the best one that, you know, a lot of people can relate to with all these big words and all that. So what is the full meaning of addicted? Exhibiting a compulsive, chronic, psychological, and physiological need for a habit-forming substance, behavior, or activity. That's what it means, addicted. And that can mean anything, like they said in the definition, chronic, physical and psychological need for a habit-forming substance, behavior, or activity. So it ain't just drugs. It can be sex. It can be alcoholism. It's going to be all forms of this. It can be gaming. You know, people play games. That's addictive. But addicted can mean anything if you fall up into that category. But mostly we're going to be speaking on about the drugs, though. So I don't want to get anybody, you know, confused what addiction is. You know, addiction can be anything, but the main subject we're talking about in this definition is, you know, drug abuse. So again, what is the full meaning of addicted? It's exhibiting a compulsive, chronic, psychological, and physiological need for a habit-forming substance, behavior, or activity. You know, addicted to heroin, alcohol, gambling. You know, these are examples. Addictive smokers. You know, stuff like that. And it's strongly inclined to do, use, or indulge in something repeatedly. This is something that you continue doing and doing. And you know, every family member has a person that's been addicted to drugs and alcohol. So don't sit here and think your family all sweet and gold, saints and stuff. Everybody has that drug addicted person in their family. I even had it in my family. My father, which everybody knows, which I'm not going to say his name, but my father was addicted to this stuff, heroin, cocaine, and and I love sharing his story to people because, you know, he talks about it amongst me and other people. But my dad been clean for almost 30 years, man. And if anybody know my dad, he was addicted to cocaine, heroin. He drunk alcohol, you know, 12-pack every day. But it took prison for him to realize that, you know, he can't do this for the rest of his life. So he made a big change. And like I say, he might not do it, but I'm proud of my dad for doing that because, you know, he don't like sharing his story to certain people, but I love sharing his story because it's not the drugs. It all starts right here in your mind. Your mind. So shout out to my dad, you know, for overcoming that addiction. And right now he's sober and clean, man. So pat yourself on the back. We can give you a round of applause for that, man. You know, examples, some more examples of addictions. This could mean alcohol, crackhead, druggie, dopehead, doper, drunkard, junkie, pothead. You know, these are just examples of addiction. And it's not right to make fun of people of addiction because you don't know what their life or what they've been going through in life to get like this. It can be travel through DNA. They can come from an abusive family that abuse drugs, alcohol, and etc. So I remind you, don't make fun of nobody that's been in that situation because I'm telling you, when they spin the block and you get in that situation of any kind of addiction, they're gonna be laughing at you. It ain't fun when the rabbit got the gun. So I advise nobody to go ahead and pick with anybody with that. You know, we're just speaking on some subjects that a lot of people are afraid to talk about, and I feel that's what we need to talk about. Talk about addiction, you know, drugs. But it's another opposite. Another opposite for addiction is to remember that the opposite of addiction is connection. You know, we always stuck on this addiction word, but it's also an opposite word called connection. You know, that gets them addicted to that drug because now they didn't experiment like with cocaine, heroin. Now they're connected to it. That's that drug of choice until something new come along, and then they get connected to that. So that's another opposite of being addicted. You know, addiction. You know, just don't go on the word. You know, you got a heroin addiction. They got a heroin addiction and connection. You know, you got to break that connection in order for them to get back on track and function right. You know, and it states again, it's the human connection that each person needs in order to feel loved, supported, and understood. So, like I just said earlier, you don't know what nobody's going through, what they're addicted to, you don't know what they're going through, so don't go out here picking at people that's like that. So, another opposite of addiction is connection. You know, it's the connection too. We just can't go off the addiction. You got to break the connection from it too. You know, once you cut the head of the snake off, the body dies. So that's what we need to do out there. You know, I'm just giving y'all information on this because I know a lot of parents has got kids out there, teenagers that are going to experience this stuff, peer pressure and all that. You know, I got teenage daughters and boys, so you know, I'm preparing myself for this right now to deal with it and speak on it and teach them, you know, what to do, not to do, peer pressure and bullying, man. So this is just something I'm just wanted to do. All right, what are the three types of addicts? You know, physical addiction can generally be grouped into three categories. You got alcohol, exotic drugs, and prescription drugs. Alcohol addiction is arguably among the most common. Alcohol that comes from binge drinking, regular heavy drinking, and dependency. But you know, them the three categories. You know, so like I say, it just ain't about drugs. It's everything that I said right there. Alcohol, exotic drugs, and prescription drugs. And prescription drugs is the main thing around here too. You got prescription drugs, Oxy, Perks, Xanax, all that. Then on top of it, you got cocaine, heroin, fentanyl, crystal meth, everything. It just unreal. It's almost like you at a candy store, you know, I mean for real. It might sound funny, but just think of it like a candy store. You can get any drug you want just in a little small town. And we ain't even no big city. We ain't even no big city. And we're gonna continue doing this. What is the cause of addiction? And the 4 C's of addictions are craving, compulsion, control, and consequences. On the widely recognized frameworks to understand addiction in the four C's. Craving, compulsion, control, and consequences are the four C's that you need to look into when you see people acting like that. You ain't got to just jump on and start interrogating. Oh, you on fucking drugs? No, just watch. These are signs. You're not gonna be 100% correct on the first go round, but if you start noticing these signs, just look out for them. They're called the four C's of addiction. It's craving, compulsion, control, and consequences. So just look mindful and don't be a blind eye to that shit. Don't be in denial or nothing like that, because the more you're in denial, the more you can keep pushing your loved one into further addiction, because you believing in them, they're not doing it, but they stabbing you behind your back and really are doing it. So don't be in denial, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that your child fucked up or your loved one is fucked up. That's what we need to get out of, man. Denial. Because I know one of my damn kids, you think I'ma tell it. Get your ass off his shit. We didn't raise you like that, but and then it's the most common thing. People come from alcoholic families and fathers and mothers, and the mother might be pregnant and drinking and doing drugs, and it's addiction genetic. While finding the precise genetic cause is tricky, multiple lines of research do show that genes influence substance use. From careful studies, scientists estimate a person's genetics account 40 to 60% of their risk. So yes, drinking and doing drugs will affect your unborn child, 40 to 60% of their risk. So I don't know, I can beat it in your head, women, if you're out there pregnant, I know you're on them drugs, but before you do all that, I don't believe in abortion. Just kill the baby. Just take a plan B, because that's basically what you're doing while you're doing the drugs. You're killing the baby. You're messing the baby's health up. Not getting nothing, nutrients or nothing like it. Nothing healthy. All drugs, fentanyl, whatever your drug of choice. That's what the baby. Whatever you do affects the baby. So if you out there and you out here fucking around, doing drugs and pregnant and running these goddamn streets, pregnant with a baby in your belly, unborn at that, a human being doing drugs, just go ahead and have an abortion and take Plan B, man. Some of y'all might scared to say it, but it's like, why bring a baby into that world for something that you caused or could prevent it? So just save us all the headache, man, with the sad stories, and just do it. I'm just keeping it 100, man, because it's crazy, man. It's crazy, but y'all might not see it, but we had an area now with drugs is just unbelievable. From marijuana, the alcohol, the gambling, anything, any kind of addiction. Y'all see it in the food, because y'all be complaining about it all the time on Facebook. But anyway, we're gonna get back to this. The 5 stages of addiction recovery are pre-compilation, compilation, preparation, action, and maintenance. These are the 5 stages that you need to prepare yourself for if you want to enter in rehab and turn on that new leaf and get you some help. Get your loyalty back with your family, friends, kids, if you have any, and anything. This is our steps, man. I'm tired of seeing this stuff myself. I don't judge nobody what they do, but at least try to talk some sense in them and give them some kind of encouragement. Do they want to change? Like, you can't do this forever, man. So those are the 5 stages of addiction recovery: are pre-compilation, contemplation, preparation, action, and maintenance. Boy, I tell you, these some hard ass words. What is the first rule? Rule number 1. Rule number 1. I don't care what kind of addiction that you have. I don't care what you're going through, but the number 1 rule to break this cycle, to break this addiction and connection, is change your life. Change your life. The most important rule of recovery is that a person does not achieve recovery by just not using. Recovery involves creating a new life in which is easier to not to use. Man, that's, you can't get over it. Let me say that again. Recovery involves creating a new life in which it is easier not to use. You can't get no better than that, man. Them words can't hit you in the face better than a Mike Tyson punch out. If you can't feel that and let them words change your life, something's wrong with you. Something is wrong with you. That's the number one rule. Change your life. You're going to have to change your life in order to beat this addiction and connection. And these are new words. This is new stuff that I just did research on. You know, just a lot of research. Just a little simple stuff. All the stuff that I'm reading is on the internet. So I don't know why is it so hard for people not to go to this, man. Listen to this. It's free. It's on the internet. It's free. But fentanyl now, everybody know about fentanyl. Fentanyl is a dangerous drug. It's police don't even let the dog search the car no more because of the fentanyl. They wear gloves because of this shit. This fentanyl is like anthrax. It's like the new anthrax. This shit would kill you just by touching, sweating. So I can understand what these cops putting themselves in risk. But fentanyl is the most prevalent in the United States. West Virginia has the highest rate of fentanyl overdose in 2022. That's West Virginia, man. Out of all the 50 states, West Virginia. And that is crazy. That's a lot of deaths, man. A lot of deaths. Fentanyl in Florida killed 6,453 people in 2002. In New York, 4,950 deaths. That's a lot of deaths, man. That's a lot of deaths just for one city. That's in 2022. And West Virginia was the highest rate of fentanyl overdose in 2022. That's crazy. So the numbers don't lie, man. The numbers don't lie. Not on that, look at all these families that are hurt by this. A lot of families, a lot of loved ones, a lot of kids that won't see their parents, sisters, or brothers, grandparents, uncles, aunts grow up, get old because of this drug. And in Virginia, the prevalence of substance use disorder, SUD, diagnosed doubled for both adults and youth in 1 year. It increased the addiction, the SUD, adults increasing from 7.3% to 14.5%. And for the youth, it was at 3.7%, and it went up to 7%. That's in 2022. So the new updates haven't even came out yet, the new statistics. So it allows to be higher than that. These are 2022 stats and numbers, man, that you can find on the internet all day. So in the next 2 years, you can only imagine in 2 years what it's going to be like. Them numbers is going to change, man. Y'all better wake up and smell the coffee, man. Y'all better wake up and smell the coffee. If you got a loved one out there that's on this shit, or see the signs of them getting on this shit, man, seek help, talk to them, hit them dead in the face, confront them. Stop playing like they ain't on this shit. If your TV come up missing, and you know your TV been in your house since you been there, and then it come up missing, come on, jewelry, money, little shit that been missing. Stop being an iron. Your loved one is on drugs. Get them help before it get worse or death. Get help. Stop playing with this shit. Stop playing with it. But in Martinsville and Henry County, even outside of Danville, I'm gonna give you a couple recovery places that you can go to seek help. I got the Spiro Health on 312 Farragut Street. That's one place in Martinsville. I'm gonna post all these substance abuse recovery centers at the end of this video. After I edit and stuff, everything will be posted where you can seek help. But there's plenty of help in Martinsville, Danville. Just depends how far you want to travel. So we don't want to give you no excuses, as you know, talk about you can't get the help. I'm gonna give it to you out there. If you ain't got the time, you got the time to look at my live. Go on, just if you ain't got to look at the podcast episode, just go on all the way to the end and get get that information, that helpful information. But that's what we're gonna do, man. We're gonna try this, fight this thing one family at a time. You know, one city at a time, one community at a time. Because these are real issues that get swept under the table that a lot of people don't want to talk about. And I myself love talking about stuff like this because we as Martinsville citizens and Americans need to know about this because it's destroying families. It's all on the news. So stop turning the blind eye. Stop acting like you don't know that it's happening. Stop being in denial. You know, we all got that loved one. We all got that family member, that special one that right to this day we can't believe they own that stuff. But that's the road they want to travel. But the number one rule in doing this is change your life. Create a new life so you will not be able to be easy for you not to use. That's the number one rule. So if anybody out there right now addicted to anything, any kind of drugs, any kind of gambling, anything they're going to be addicted, the number one thing to do is to change your life. Create a new life. Be easy for you not to use, man. And break that connection. You got the addiction. Then you got to break the connection. You got to separate it. You got to get a divorce. You got to let it go. You got to let it go, man. But anybody that needed help, I will be posting all the information at the end of this episode and the numbers and location. And you can reach out to those people, those centers, recovery centers to get the help that you need, man. So we're gonna beat this thing one day at a time, one life at a time, one family at a time, man. For real, we're gonna beat this. Until next time, man, I'm your host, Tone Compone, Live at 45 Podcast, and I hope y'all have a blessed and happy night, man. Peace.